I have two tattoos on my arm. If you're Korean, Chinese, Japanese, you might know this one. This one is woman. And the other one you may not be able to recognize. Uh, when I was young and foolish and tattooing things onto my body, I was very interested in language. I've always been interested in language, and I was reading a book about the way that language evolved. And the beginning chapters were about Chinese characters and how the characters used to look more like the thing that they represented. So the the woman image, the woman image looked like a woman. You can arms and legs and a head, and over time they were simplified or complicated and have changed. The This image on this arm, which you may not know what it is the word they showed in the book for weeping, which crying, which over time has since changed and been simplified in Chinese to a different character. Their point was that at some point, like the ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics, pictures that represented words and expressed language, Chinese characters also had a story behind them. And I just thought that was so interesting. And I went so far as to tattoo those images onto my body. And when people ask me about it, I can tell them, it says weeping woman, but they think that's very sad to tattoo on someone's body. And I say to myself, well, that's sad to you, but it's not sad to me, because in my young mind at the time, I was thinking of the yin and yang symbol, weeping woman, laughing woman, two sides of a character, a black and white, white and black, each connected, each part of the other. And to me, it made a full circle, a complete person. That was my way of thinking when I was a child. If you ask me now, I don't regret it. But I get embarrassed when people talk about it. I have a hard time explaining to them without telling the story, like I was interested in language and the way that it... So when you decide to get a tattoo, think very carefully about it, and remember, it's on your body and people can see it, and they probably will ask you what it means. So that would be my anecdote for the reason I got this tattoo and what it means to me and how people have responded to it. I wouldn't just tell that story for no reason. I would only really tell that story to someone I thought was actually interested. A lot of people ask about it, but I don't always tell that story because I don't think people really care. They just, they see something, that's interesting. Oh, they see something else, that's interesting. Their life continues. If you have a personal relationship with me and you ask me, or I see you looking at it, then I would probably explain. At the time, I felt like I was being very dedicated to the search for meaning, and not just the search for meaning, but how language means, the way it's able to communicate information from one person to another. I've always thought that was fascinating. Even when I was studying in school, that was what I was studying. I was studying how language means, how stories give more than themselves when you read them. You don't just read a story, boy meets girl, boy falls for girl, girl rejects boy, finish, the story is over. Just like movies that move people, I've always found language to be able to do more than just give you information.